Sugarcane is kind of hard to farm. If you've ever tried to grow sugarcane, you know that the rates are just pretty bad. So there's a lot of problems that you run into when sugarcane farming, but this farm actually fixes pretty much all of them. This larger farm makes over 4,300 sugarcane per hour, which is crazy. That's 68.5 stacks. Meanwhile, this smaller variant is half the size and makes over 2,100 sugarcane per hour. And this is about 34 stacks per hour. And best of all, both of these designs use blocks that are extremely common and easy to get to in the early game, with about 95% of the build being just dirt blocks and leaves. This glass here on the side is optional. You could have this be dirt or any other building block you like. I just have glass because it looks nice and it's not terribly hard to get. These farms have literally 0 redstone and only a handful of hoppers for collection and no other need for any water streams or pistons or anything unnecessary, with the most bare bones and simple setup that you can possibly imagine for a sugarcane farm. So I literally got this bigger variant working on my survival world in about 3 hours. It's not even that difficult to build. So Potato, how do these work exactly? Well, if you've seen my recent ice farm video, you'll know that I've discovered a trick for farming in Minecraft. You see, if we use a simple auto clicker called Autohotkey, we can actually automate the actions of the player themselves, and that way we can achieve automatic farms that are extremely simple and powerful in vanilla Minecraft, as long as we code in the specific actions that the player needs to take. So the way this farm works is we're automating player movement itself with a program called Autohotkey. This is a free auto clicker program for Windows that allows us to basically write in all of the actions we want the player to take, and we're using it to make a big loop of breaking all the sugarcane. And combined with these two allays collecting all the sugarcane and delivering it to the player, this means we have a completely automatic farm. So at the end of the loop, the player will pause for a few seconds to both eat food and also wait for the allays to deliver most of the items to the player. At that point, the player will begin jumping and running back towards the starting point, where when the player gets to the hopper where they started the loop, they will toss out all the sugarcane from their inventory for the lap and then repeat the cycle. So random interjection, I actually got a new shader in the middle of recording this, so don't mind the new visuals, I think it looks better. So this brings up a big question, which is Autohotkey cheating? And short answer is no, I don't believe it is. And the reason why is that autoclickers have been a big part of Minecraft ever since the game's been being played. So I think one of the most important aspects of farm design is thinking outside the box, and that's exactly what we're doing here. To me, Minecraft is a game that is meant to be pushed to its limits and beyond. With the modding community, resource packs, texture packs, world downloads, there's a lot to consider. And there is no one person who can say that Minecraft is this or Minecraft is that. It can be whatever you want it to be. So if you want Minecraft to be a game where you don't use Autohotkey in your farms, then you're perfectly welcome to do that. If you don't want that, then you'll have to have a much more complicated setup than I have here. And if you're okay with it, then you're going to be able to build this awesome farm. So yeah, comment below what you think and try to leave all negativity out if possible. So with all that being said, I think we're ready to move on to the tutorial. And I'm only going to show the tutorial for the large version. Just keep in mind that you just build the length to exactly half for the small and it'll be exactly the same. And you'll use the small script instead of the large script if you want to build this version over here. So let's jump into the tutorial. So the way to start this farm is we're using allays to collect our items. So we'll go ahead and free the allays from this little allay pin right here. And so now they'll be floating around. And so what we'll do is we'll have double click the Autohotkey file, and we'll go ahead and align ourselves to right exactly in this corner on the stone blocks so that we know where we're going. And we'll go ahead and have our food in our first inventory slot. And we'll go ahead and clear up the second slot, third slot, and fourth slot. And then once we're aligned like this, we'll go ahead and press Ctrl J, which will start the script. So this scripted loop is going to go ahead and break all the sugarcane in the farm. And then once we're done, we're going to toss that sugarcane in the hopper at the end. And the allays are going to help with item collection and go ahead and bring all the extra items to the player that we can't get ourselves. So now that we're at the end, we're going to go ahead and eat the food, but we're not hungry right now. And so then we're going to wait a little bit for the allays to collect some items here. Hey, there you go. I guess I hadn't got that achievement yet here. And so then we go and we toss in the items that we have, and then we start the loop again. So on the very first loop like this, you'll get a few extra sugarcane, which is the only time there'll be any sort of lag on this farm, because the player moves so fast that there's not going to be very many entities on any of the later trips. This means that we achieve near lagless performance just by having these few allays and by walking through the farm very fast. So how we achieve high rates for the farm as well is we're walking through it so fast that we're going to get to any sugarcane before it gets too tall and starts decreasing in efficiency when it can't grow anymore. So one quick note that I've learned, it seems like the first few times that you run this farm, there's not going to be very many sugarcane growing immediately after you break the very beginning. Don't freak out from that. That's very normal because sugarcane just takes a little while to grow. The longer you run the farm, you'll notice that there'll be sugarcane popping up very frequently. This is just a weird quirk at the very beginning. The sugarcane will be growing later. And so this small variant uses 2 allays, and the larger variant, which I'm calling medium because it's still fairly small, the medium version has 4 allays, and this is just to ensure that all the sugarcane gets collected, and you don't have to worry if they drop the items right there, because they'll always drop the items on the player path, and they'll always collect pretty much all the items from the loop, so you won't have to worry about losses there. If you were unsure about that, you could just add another allay or 2, and you would have more of a guarantee. So it's good to have a little bit of extra space in your inventory for that first lap. As you can see, I have a little bit of extra bamboo that I haven't tossed. And this is just because at the very beginning, there's a lot of bamboo that will have already be grown, and whenever you go back through the farm, there won't be quite as many. So if you want to stop the player in the middle of the loop, you'll go ahead and press Ctrl K, and then quickly Alt Tab and Alt Tab back into Minecraft, and that'll go ahead and completely break the cycle, and your player will be free to go. And then once you're done, you'll want to go ahead and make sure to put up these allays back in their pin. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And so to do this, you're just going to go ahead and fill up all of this scaffolding right here. And I don't know why I'm missing one. That's very strange. So you just go ahead and fill up all this scaffolding right here. And then you'll get your allays in here with a few sugarcane, and they'll fly right up, and then they can't fly back down. And it works until the next time you need them. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Comment below what you like or don't like about the farm. I'd love to hear what you think. Also, don't forget that Spud Central SMP is now open for applications on my Discord, which is a free SMP server if you're interested in joining. Go check out the link in my Discord. We've done some really cool stuff so far, and there'll be a little bit of content coming that for my channel, so stay tuned and check that out if you're interested. Thanks for watching my video, and enjoy this beautiful time lapse of me building this farm on Spud Central.